everyone, it's Rexluna here, and today I'm going to be doing some more work on my Monster Hunter hammer. Before I actually kind of get started, just want you guys to know these are not real tattoos. I'm just testing out some tattoo papers to see how they work for cosplay related things, if I have body paint or not body paint, but like a painted design or a tattoo on a character, how well this holds up. And the stuff I'm using is actually kind of crap, so I'll have to try it with something else. Anyway, so last time I took the cardboard pieces and I put them together just like I did with my pattern, and I was waiting to get them attached on the pole. Well, that actually happened behind the scenes. So I'm actually going to be moving into the garage, and I will be explaining a little bit more on how that worked out, and I do have a video of the whole cutting process, not the whole process, but part of it, just so you kind of get an idea. And then we're going to be filling it with foam, and then we're going to be coating it after that, but that'll probably be the next video. So yeah, so excuse the lighting and sound changes because I will have to be in the garage. Alright, so before I start filling with foam, I kind of want to talk about how we actually got this onto here. I say we because my dad had to assist. He has a table saw, and this was a kind of job that took two sets of hands, one to hold and like one to do some of the work. So he ended up helping me a few days ago to do this. Now, I realized after the fact, this is actually pretty heavy, and if you put the full pole in and hold it, the bottom part, and hold it at the bottom, it bends just a little bit, which I honestly didn't think would happen. I thought this would be a lot lighter, but since I'm going to be holding it with one hand here and one hand down below, it probably won't be a problem. It's not going to bend because I'll be holding it straight. So I put the cardboard together like I showed before with the little cuts, and I just went whoop. And then we took this pole and we actually just cut it the same way. We cut down one direction and then down the other direction, made sure that it was centered. And we went down to where I marked it, where it would fit the two decorations and still have room for my hand and look halfway decent. So we did that, which makes it a little flimsy. So we did one cut, taped it, and then cut the other way just so that it wasn't all flying apart. So I'm actually going to show a quick little video of that. I'm going to mute it because it is super loud from the table saw, but just so you get an idea of what we're doing. So the next step, I straight up just couldn't film because I was outside and I had to hold this while my dad helped me out, and my brother's dog was like running around freaking out because she wanted to help. But where is it? Okay. So my dad actually did most of this work. I had to hold everything in place since I know what it's supposed to look like. So he took a small nail. You really just need something sharp. See if I can show. It's really difficult because the lighting's not great. You can kind of see here there's a hole. So we just punctured a hole through the cardboard while I held down this plastic all the way in. And we did that on all four pieces. And then we took some wire and ran it through the holes and then twisted it together and just kept twisting it with some pliers until it was tight enough that it would keep this pole down, because it was kind of bowing out because it wasn't obviously very secure or very strong because it was cut into pieces. So that just allowed it to all stay in place. So now I'm gonna shake it, and it's not really going anywhere. It's pretty solid, and it doesn't add a lot of weight. So that was just the method we used. I know there's like 1,000 other ways to do it. So now I need to fill it with foam, and I actually have two cans. They're the same brand, they're basically the same thing. The difference is that this one's called Big Gap Filler, and this one's just normal gaps and cracks. So this one is going to supposedly expand a little bit bigger than this one, so that should mean I need less, just a little bit less. I'm actually going to find out by doing one little quarter in this and one quarter in this, and seeing after I do the half and I pour the same amount how much they grow, just because I'm kind of personally curious. This one I actually was able to pick up at my local Walmart because we have the grocery version of it, and this was probably like $3, something like that. It was a lot cheaper than this can, which if you get these at a home improvement store. They're going to cost a little more, but they're going to be the same price, so you don't have to pay more for more expansion. Yeah, so that's all there really is to the prep time. Here I have this big mat down below that we used to use for painting, so there's paint all over it, but that way it doesn't make a mess all in the garage. This doesn't spray out too far, so as long as you're a good enough distance away and your arm is stretched out, it shouldn't like backfire on you, but as always you should still be careful. Cover yourself up if you feel unsure about the mess, and then just have at it. So we're gonna go switch camera angles and we're gonna start filling this in. So things might have looked a little different than when I was explaining. So that would be because I actually used both cans of that expanding foam. And I feel like it didn't even make a dent in the filling process, which I wasn't expecting. So I'm just going to have to wait and let it cure, which is going to take a little bit longer. It says about 8 hours, but I'll go back and check in about 2 to see how it's grown, and then another 2 to see if it's gotten any bigger than that, and then I won't do any carving or anything on it until either later in the evening or tomorrow, just because there's so many layers of that wet foam that the curing might take a little longer on the inside. So, unfortunately it didn't turn out how I had hoped, so I'll see what happens when it expands, and hopefully it'll be enough, and if not, I'm going to have to come up with something else. Not sure what that something else will be right now, but we'll find out. So next time, hopefully, we'll be able to start carving, because I'm not going to film the filling process for everything. So if it does work out, I'm going to do all of it, buy more cans, and then come back once we're ready to carve it into the exact shape. So yeah, wish me luck. Bye.